Planetside 2 is a free-to-play action MMO developed and published by Sony Online Entertainment. One of the core features to Planetside 2 is its 3-faction persistent world setup. What this basically means to the gamer is that you can create a character in any of the 3 factions and you'll be constantly fighting regardless of the hour of the time of the day, regardless of whereabouts you are, you're always going to be in the action against other factions competing for land. I really have to commend the Planetside 2 community because I've been playing quite a few hours now and I don't think once I've ever been trash talked to or had anyone insult me or anything like that, even when I was clearly a new player, and it's really nice to see that the community actually really likes to get new players involved with the game. The game is what I would call noob friendly. So I want to talk just briefly on the actual infantry, ground and aircraft combat. Each faction has 3 aircraft and I don't know, 5 vehicles, and each faction has 1 unique tank and 1 unique aircraft, which is really good because the tanks and the aircraft are actually built around the faction style. It's really rewarding getting a kill with a faction specific vehicle because you know that you're on your way to mastering it. If you play a faction a lot, it's actually a really cool thing to do, try and master one of their specific vehicles and learn its strengths and weaknesses. The infantry combat is actually really varied. It's my favourite part of the game. Just waiting at the side of the road to ambush people and things like that, or sneaking in the back of a base under the cover of night. It is so cool, and I really advise doing it with friends. Planetside 2 has some pretty neat features since it's developed in the Forge-Lite engine. Things such as day and night cycles, fog and weather all help to conceal your advancement into enemy territories, and there's nothing more rewarding than pulling off that stealth kill in the cover of night. And in fact, this was actually my favourite part of the game. I really loved being able to sneak into the back of a base with a buddy and take out everyone that was actually defending the front. It was so cool, and I actually haven't played an MMO that allows you to do that. I don't think ever. I've never played an MMO that allows you to actually sneak around and be in the heart of the action at exactly the same time. The night cycle also enables the use of the engine by illuminating bullets and things like that, as you would get in an actual scenario. For example, when you're firing artillery and things like that, you can actually see the rounds fly off into the sky. It makes for an absolutely spectacular sight when there's an air raid going on at night and everyone's manning the artillery cannons just firing up into the sky. It's really crazy. It gives me this World War II feel. I unfortunately have to touch on this issue with the engine. On an older graphics card, you are really going to struggle to play the game, if not just not be able to play the game whatsoever. It's all down to the engine that it was developed in. In closed beta, it was really poorly optimized, and it was even tanking my GPU. Now they've made it a lot better and a lot more playable, but it's never going to be able to be played on older graphics cards and things like that, which is unfortunate, seeing as the game actually has a lot to offer. So hopefully, graphics cards will come a long way pretty quick and everyone will be able to play Planetside 2. Right, so now I'm going to talk about the game's actual free-to-play model that it uses. I've not had a lot of experience with this, but I can tell you, if you want to just play around with the starting guns and you don't feel like spending cash and things, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to worry about that. The starting weapons are actually surprisingly good, and each of the classes has their own weapons and things like that. And they all have their own abilities and things. You don't have to buy stuff like that. You can buy additional weapons, but they're more of side grades. I've seen a couple that I've noticed people don't tend to be using because they're pretty much gun me down very quickly, but that's obviously at a close range. There's definitely ways of outranging people in this game. It's an absolutely massive world. So I don't think you really have to worry about this whole pay-to-win thing that a lot of people have been going on about. Not necessarily in Planetside 2. I don't think I've had actually anyone complain that Planetside 2 has been pay-to-win so far. Anyone that I've spoken to, at least. It's actually a really fair and balanced game. The only thing you can't buy with actual cert points, which is what you get in the game for free, is cosmetic things. As far as I'm aware, I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's only cosmetic stuff that you can't get with cert points, which is fair enough. That's, you know, if you want to invest in the game for cosmetic things, that's absolutely fine, but you do that on your own terms. It's really nice that they haven't made weapons just obviously more strong or more overpowered than others, you know, just for the sake of bringing more money in. Overall, I gave Planetside 2 an 8 out of 10. It's an actually really good game, and I would have given it a lot higher. The only issue is, in large battles, even my GPU has a bit of a struggle keeping up with the amount of stuff that's going on, and if your graphics card is sort of average, yeah, you are going to have a hard time in the big battles.